Okay, one of the last things we're going to show you guys are the effects. And as you can see down here on the bottom, next to your fill and your border, you have your effects. Usually it's open, and I'll just click on that little arrow on the right-hand side. I'm down here, as you can see, the effects. Click on it, and you have a whole bunch of different things. So let's scroll down here, and the first thing is we have our blur. And the first thing with blur is you're going to see that it starts at 5 pixels. It's got a slide bar. It works really well. And notice you can actually slide it more and more, and it actually fades away into almost nothing. It's still, you can see the circle, but it's there. And that's one of the things that you can do with that. If you go down to 0, of course, it's not there, and it's all done. We're going to move down to the drop shadow, which is very important too. We use that a lot. You're just going to see that there's an XY axis, and it actually has a blur and opacity. You can even pick the color. So if I want to make a different color, we can. But let's go ahead and make this 15. And then also minus 15. Because we want to go below, above and below. So let's just go with the regular 15. So notice you can see the drop shadows right here. We can change the blur. I can do a 15 blur if go. We just go 15 all the way through. Notice the edge is not as predominant as you can see right here. We can also go with one more thing with a drop shadow as our percentage or opacity. So if I wanted to, I can make that, let's say 30%. And notice how soft it is. We can change the color. So if it wants to be, we can make it a red drop shadow if you want to do something like that, of that kind of effect. Most of the time it goes with a subtle gray or black, just because that's what we're assuming shadows are. They are that of the gray scale. After that, we can move down, and you're also going to see, besides shadows and the blurs, you're going to also see there's an inner shadow, which is just the opposite of the drop shadow, but it will be internal. And that's how we do that. And let's come here, and let's go 10. And you can see it inside here. And let's go 10. So notice when I look at it a little closer, you can see that the shadow is in here. And of course, if we click on it, you can see that the opacity is at 50%. And I can even do it more subtle and do, say, 25%. And notice how soft it is. So you could actually start making this more three-dimensional. And as you can tell, the effects that I'm using right now are over here on the right-hand side, my inner shadow, drop shadow, and blur. If I want to get rid of them, I just come over here, hit the trash can, and of course, I'm down here in the right-hand corner. Let's go my blur and delete that. It's gone. If I want to get rid of my drop shadow, it goes away, and still I have my inner shadow done too. You'll see that there's other things here, like color adjustment. If I click on color adjustment, I can mess with the brightness, how bright it is, or how light it goes. And then we have our contrast. We can be more subtle with our contrast. And then hue is just going to change it. So we're going to change our hue. And notice that it also changes the actual shadow itself. And then our saturation, if we want to really make it saturated. So those are just a few of the effects that you can use. Let's get rid of both of these. And last but not least, it says more down here, and they all have them here right together. You can recolor something, you can overlay a color, you can mirror something, you can even curve shadow. Those are things that it's just a matter of clicking on and figuring out how you want to do it, playing with the actual slide bars to see how it looks, the softness, the radius, etc., like that. So those are other things you can look at too. They're available there for you, and it works out very well. But those are pretty much all of your effects are in the Gravit design.